I had depression, and then I ended up with thyroid cancer. So
Shut the front door.
yeah, so it was a really, you know, the sad part though, this is kind of, I guess that you could say the pivotal moment, but it was the point where I thought, okay, I have cancer. It didn't even register of how like scary that was. All I could think was, okay, I have to have surgery, but someone's going to take care of me and I'm okay. I have to go to the hospital. At least I get someone to care for me. And then to me, thinking that was like, oh my gosh, like that's a bit of a wake up call. Like the fact that I'm thinking being in a hospital is actually okay because I need someone to take care of me, and I was okay with that.
Ho, ho, ho!
Hey, Santa, before you get too carried away, we need to talk.
Yeah, because while you're up there with the cookies, moms are the ones making sure the magic actually happens.
And let's be honest, who does all the work and who gets all the credit?
This year, it's time for a little more for mom. We're hosting the More for Mom Summit, a free online event designed to help you ditch the stress and keep the joy of the season.
Think of it as your 4-day reset. Practical tools, heart-centered support, and a community of moms who get it.
Grab your free ticket at moreformomsummit.com because this year, mom gets to enjoy the magic too.
Ho, ho, ho. This episode is brought to you by the More for Moms Summit. You can get your free ticket at www.moreformomsummit.com. We'll see you there. All right. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to introduce to you Alexandra Lily. She is the founder of Survival Mode is Not Motherhood, and how it can get really dangerous when you get to that pivotal point. And I know, Alexandra Lily, I feel like I am there on a daily basis and I really need this conversation. So she, just before we dive in, I want you all to know that she is going to be among one of the 16 plus presenters that we have for our More for Mom Summit, which is happening November 12th to 14th. It is a free online summit, and it's designed to help moms reclaim their joy and feel calm and confidence heading into the holidays. And you're going to hear conversations that touch every part of you, your mind, your body, your soul, and your smile. Again, it's a free summit, and we're very excited about it. And Alexandra Lily is going to be talking about the hidden dangers of an overwhelmed mom. But I'm curious. So in this interview, we'll kind of be going through your backstory. Can you take us back to what it looked like before you started your journey?
Mhm. So I actually am a mom of 5 boys. So let me start there.
Oh my gosh. I did not.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, so I have 5 boys, we're a blended family,
Yeah.
so he had 3 coming into, I had 1, and then we had 1 together,
Yeah.
and life was just really crazy
Yeah.
and
You're my
overwhelming.
hero. Oh my God.
Yeah. But my one son actually, he has special needs and epilepsy. So I
Yeah.
feel like my journey of overwhelm and burnout kind of started when that started and he got really sick, his epilepsy. So he was seizing every day at one point. And
Oh,
medication wasn't working. Nothing was controlling the seizures. We didn't, we were in and out of hospital. And he was only 3 at the time. So life was pretty scary. And in the midst of all that, being a mom, everything was just about him. Like, trying to figure out, like, if the doctors can't figure out, what can I do as a mom to figure out why this is happening and how I could help. So he also had to have brain surgery because of the medication wasn't working. And in a span of 10 years, we went through brain surgery, therapy programs, rehabilitation for OT, physical therapy. And then in the midst of all that, I had my 5th son. So I had a toddler in the time. And then when he was about 8 years old, he was diagnosed with an intellectual disability, the one son that had epilepsy. So everything was about him. and trying to help him, navigate life now that life has totally changed.
Yeah.
So I totally stopped taking care. I didn't know how to take care of him and take care of me.
Nope.
And I was in what I call survival mode, where I was on autopilot. I was just getting through my day, making sure the kids were fed, they went to school, he had his therapy programs, the house needed what it needed, and that is it. That was the amount of energy I had left. Um, yeah, so it was a difficult time where it was just really, really busy, and I don't even wanna say busy, it was just more of like the overwhelm was like I just had no capacity left at the end of the day, because especially being a mom to a son with epilepsy, you're so hyper vigilant because you're always waiting. Like, is he gonna have a seizure? Like, I know, like when is the next seizure gonna happen? And oh my gosh, he did this. What does that mean? And then you have a toddler, which we know toddlers are
Yeah.
busy. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so life was very stressful for me at that time, and that's where I contribute my survival mode to, where I didn't know how to get back from that. I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking water, I just got up and away I went about my day, caring for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I only have a toddler and I am like feeling like and now that I'm talking to you, like, wow, I can only
Mm,
imagine,
mhm.
how and, like, I'm also a teacher, and so when you say, like, "I'm not drinking water," I remember, like, I went to the doctor and he's like, "You just need to drink more water," and thinking in my mind, like, "At what point can I have like,
If
am I thinking about myself and drinking more water?"
yeah,
It's comparable to being, like, in a cage full of, like, 20 lions, and someone's like,
right.
"Just need some time to drink some
Yeah.
water." You know, like,
Yeah.
but, like,
Yeah.
I feel like but with 5 boys and, like, medical stuff and a toddler,
Mhm.
holy Hannah. So, at what point did you, like was it like, "Okay, I need to start making some changes." Was there a pivotal point or moment that you said, like, "Okay, that's it."
Not necessarily. Like, there wasn't anything, and I wanna touch base on how you're saying, "Oh, I only have a toddler." What happens is, though, even being a teacher too, is like
Yeah,
when you're so consumed with stress all the time, regardless of what it looks like in your life,
yeah,
you can get to that point. Like, sometimes I say, don't compare my story, because my story is like, yeah, crazy, but don't compare my story to anybody else's story. But
yeah,
chronic, prolonged stress
yeah,
totally rewires your brain. Right. So, no matter what situation you're in, if you have constant stress and you are not caring for yourself at the same time because you don't have the capacity nor the energy, it leads into survival mode regardless. Um, so I guess once he got better, so he had the surgery and then the seizure stopped. So for 5 years we were seizure free, which was
oh,
fantastic. But when he was doing so much better, that is when my body was like, okay, you need now to recognize signs that you are getting sick. So I had a lot of health issues during those times that I didn't even know, like my body was sending the signal, but I wasn't getting it. Because I was in survival mode, I was in autopilot, I was in fight or flight, like that was my life. And I had precancerous cells in my cervix.
oh my
Um, yeah, I had to do a biopsy. I had fibroids. I had depression. And then I ended up with thyroid cancer. So,
shut the front door.
yeah, so it was a really, you know, the sad part though, this is kinda, I guess, that you could say the pivotal moment, but it was the point where I thought, "Okay, I have cancer." It didn't even register of how, like, scary that was. All I could think was, "Okay, I have to have surgery, but someone's gonna take care of me, and I'm okay. I have to go to the hospital. At least I get someone to care for me." And then to me, thinking that was like, "Oh my gosh," like, that's a bit of a wake-up call. Like, the fact that I'm thinking being in a hospital is actually okay because I need someone to take care of me, and I was okay with that. Like, it didn't scare
Yeah,
me. It was like, "Okay, well, I have to do what I have to do." Like, I didn't have any emotions towards it,
yeah,
and I started seeing myself being like, "I don't feel sad. I don't feel angry. I feel like I actually feel nothing, and I'm not even scared that I have cancer." Um, so I had the surgery. I had to have 2 surgeries, and then after that, I kind of just went back to, again, caring for the kids. And, luckily I've been good and everything's been fine. But
Yeah.
I think at that point, I started having the thoughts of like, okay, something is wrong with me. Like something is going on. I don't think this is how I should be feeling. I know motherhood is busy. I know I have a lot of like, there's been quite a few trauma things that have happened due to,
Yeah.
my son and myself. But
Mm.
I was thinking this can't be how this is. And then I just kind of started like more researching things. Like I was always about learning more about the brain because of my son's epilepsy. So I started looking at like what is going on with me and my brain. And then I started, paying attention to listening to podcasts like Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins and Jay
Yeah.
Shetty and then I started like looking into books and I just started listening. Like all I did was listen to them. I didn't apply any strategies. I didn't listen to, because there's so many things out there that tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Um, but I felt like the more that I listened to it, eventually my brain was like, okay, maybe we could try some stuff and see if that's going to help you.
Yeah.
But it was just listening. Like I just fed my brain different things because for the longest time, all my brain thought and heard was my own thoughts of like, this sucks. My life is never, my life, this is not fair. Why did I get dealt these cards? I'm a bad mom. I'm failing. Why can't I, do X, Y, and Z? Like you put all this pressure on yourself of like, you're snapping at your kids, you feel guilty, I just, all the negative self-talk. So once I started doing that, then I was like, okay, my brain started listening to like other things that started changing my brain to like, okay, like maybe I'm not failing as a mom. Maybe I'm just, and then I started learning about survival mode and I had no idea that was the life I was living. I just thought I wasn't a good mom at coping with what I was going through.
Get your bingo card in the Summit Village and this time cross off the word Santa hat. Not sure what I'm talking about and you're curious? Go to moreformomsummit.com and join in on the fun. See you there. Yeah. Holy Hannah, you are so inspiring. Oh, so like since you've made your change,
Mhm,
what's been the biggest change for you, like physically, emotionally,
mhm,
and even how
mhm.
you show up as a mom?
Yeah. I think the biggest change is like finally feel like I am actually living my life. Not the point of like I just get up and it's Groundhog Day and I do the same thing every single day and it just feels like now I get up and I'm excited for my day and I feel like now I have these feelings like even anger, like I didn't have anger. I know anger is just an emotion. It's emotion that something is there and it's not a bad thing, but I didn't have those emotions. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel joy. So now when I have these emotions, it's like, wow, this is what it feels like again, right? And even just changing my whole career, like I'm making decisions where like I'm just wanting to live my life to the absolute fullest, where I just feel like so inspired to do different things and help different people. And then showing up for my kids, I just feel so much more present, where you're like,
Yeah.
when you're going through so much, you're there, but you're really not there. You're not really connecting. And that was one of the pieces that I struggled with, especially with my one son. I had the emotional distancing because of everything that we had gone through. I felt like I couldn't connect with him and that I just, yes, I'm a mom, but I'm also human and my body and emotions couldn't take it, that they kind of put this wall up and I felt so disconnected from my kids. But
Yeah.
now I feel like I can reach them on a deeper, I can meet their emotion connections because I'm able to have my own emotional connections. Like I'm so much more connected to myself that I can, give that which I feel was lacking when I was just surviving.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that is incredible. And would you say like
Mhm.
has your journey affected your day-to-day life now? Like how you live every day as well?
Yeah, like I feel like I'm more intentional about me. Like at the end of the day, I get up and as silly as this is gonna sound, like I am excited to put like lotion on my body and to take care of my hair and to do my makeup and to put on jewelry and put on clothes, where it's just like, I want to do those things. I'm not forcing myself. And then like paying attention to what I'm eating. Yeah, I eat, not good food once in a while, like who doesn't? But
Yeah.
just being more mindful of like taking care of me.
Yeah.
And realizing that I matter too in this family. Like I'm not just a person that runs the family. Like I matter enough that I'm, paying attention to me.
Yeah. And would
Mhm.
you say there was a part that people would often misunderstand about your journey, or what would you say people misunderstood about your journey?
Um, like being in survival mode or coming out of it?
I guess either.
Yeah. I think, well, I know my husband, so I have written a book. It's still in the editing phases, but when I read my book, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I read my book to him in my chapters as I went along, he's like, I had no idea. He's like, I didn't realize how bad things have gotten for you because you, as moms, we put on the I'm okay mask. I'm fine. I can handle it. I'm good. Right. He's like,
Yeah.
I didn't know all this stuff. Right. So I feel like a lot of people just, I mean, and for him, I always felt like I wasn't fun anymore. Like I had all these internal thoughts of like,
Yeah.
that negative, like, I'm not fun. You must not love me anymore. So
Yeah.
I feel like it was more my internal thoughts opposed to what everyone thought of. Like everyone thought I was okay. And the key thing too is like people will say, "Oh, you're so strong. I don't know how you could have handled all that." And it was like I didn't have a choice, but I
Yeah.
needed someone to stop telling me how strong I was. I needed someone to tell me like, "Actually, how are you doing? There is no way that you're doing okay with everything that you're going through." But I
Yeah.
didn't. Everyone praised me for being strong. And so I just thought, okay, if I'm not strong, that means I'm not doing a good job as a mom. So I better just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So if there was a mom who is listening right now who is overwhelmed and is in survival mode, what would you
Mhm.
say is one small step that they could take to move towards the life that she wants?
I really feel the one word that I've been using lately is just to be intentional, because you could be like in burnout and survival mode and thinking that when your hard season is over, it's going to get better. Or when the kids are older, it's going to get better. Or when the kids are more behaved, it's going to get better. Or when summer's done or when Christmas is over. Like that is what we think. The thing with survival mode is it rewires your brain. So no matter what changes in your life, whether things get better, your brain is still wired for survival mode. So you have to be intentional about doing something about it. And for me, I always suggest try to start listening to podcasts that talk about self-growth and like self-development, just to hear like a different soundtrack to tell your brain like this is not how life has to be. This
Yeah.
is, and then start, calming your nervous system and read books, social media. What are you following on social media? Like start looking at the people you're following. And if it makes you feel bad about yourself or you're comparing, get rid of them. Right. And you don't have to do any of the strategies that they tell you in the podcast, anything that they tell you in the books. Just listen. Eventually, in your own healing journey, you will eventually try something that you're like, wow, that actually helped and made me feel better. Or you may try something and be like, okay, that I can't stick with that. Like I'm not doing that. Like I tried journaling, I tried gratitude. None of that worked, honestly. And I didn't have time, really. So
Yeah.
I'm just always like, be intentional about doing something and consume as much as you can. And the key piece is if you try something one day and you don't do anything for a week, but then you come back to it, every time you come back, you are rewiring your brain to get yourself out of survival mode. Every time you come back, even though it's been like a week, as long as you keep coming back, you are rewiring your brain.
Yeah. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. I really needed this conversation, and I can't wait for when is your book going to be released? That's very exciting.
Oh. So it's in the first stage of editing. I feel like I've learned so much more in the past year because I just started it last year and I'm like, okay, I still need to add more. I don't have a date, but I'm hoping in the new year.
Okay. Well, you keep me
Yeah.
posted because I
Yes.
feel like your talk is like, I feel like you're talking right at me.
I'll
Um, and if there's any other moms out there who are like, she's also talking at me, where can moms connect with you so that they can find out more on what you're doing?
So I'm very active on TikTok. So my TikTok handle is obviously TikTok at Survival Mode Mentor.
Okay.
You can find me there. I do have different communities that I've started to help moms as well. So that's on there as well.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. So again, Alexandra Lily's presentation for our summit is going to be the hidden dangers of an overwhelmed mom. I am definitely going to be tuning in. Yeah, I've been so blessed to talk with so many of these different speakers because there's just been an amazing lineup, and every time I leave with goosebumps on my arms. So thank you so much. You've definitely inspired me. Again, moms, if you are wanting to hear her full presentation, sign up for our More for Moms Summit. It is November 12th to 14th. And if you're like, hey, I can't do that, I'm working during the day, that's okay. You have a full day to watch all these presentations and even into the night. So, thank you so much, Alexandra Lily.
Oh,
I
thank you
can't
very
tell you
much.
how much I appreciate and I'm honored that I got to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The holidays magical. The food, the friends,
Yeah, hey Dave, before you start selling us on the joy of the season, me and the moms, we're taking a break.
Because let's be honest, if you're dreading instead of dreaming about the holidays, you're not alone.
And this year, it's time to do something more for mom before things get into the full swing.
The More for Moms Summit is your reset to swap stress for sanity and pressure for peace.
Join us free at moreformomsummit.com and make this a season you actually enjoy.